Hey there folks, and Mr. Blade 93 here, and I have something to discuss on this terms of matter. So I've been thinking a lot, and throughout the PP tryouts, I had my moments and stuff, but I think it's time that I retired those PP tryouts, so to say. Because the reason is I wasn't getting as much fun for doing them, and the other thing is it didn't felt right, you know? It felt like, oh, I'm just doing this because I so happened to just do it because I wanted to make sure that the car beat the goal at the end of the day. I wanted to pass the event at the end of the day. But something felt off in the process when I was doing that. It felt like the car wasn't really balanced with the other car at the end of the day. Like, you put one 600 PP to one car to the next, you notice there's a lot of differences and stuff, besides just, you know, the common acceleration, speed, and whatnot. So I decided to take a matter in my own hands and decided to customize it a bit more. And then, not only that, to technically go against the updates that Gran Turismo does every now and then with the balancing changes, you could probably still end up using these builds at the end of the day, what I'm about to say. Because as you see here, you see a bunch of small cars and stuff. You're probably wondering, how fast do they go? Every small car that you see here hits 130. I will note 130 through downhill and drafting. I will show more on that matter later. But this is the start of a new tryouts instead. Instead of, you know, just throwing the tryouts away and just, you know, bygones, so to say, I instead am going to rebirth the tryouts and make it a new ideal, so to say. So instead of PP, I am instead going to do miles per hour base. So every small car you see here, each car here hits about 130 miles per hour. The transmission is locked, well, mostly locked to 130 miles per hour. I will say I'm not going to be picture perfect about this, but I'm going to try my damnedest to get as close as possible. Because that is my goal. I'm basically having each of these cars be 130 miles per hour and challenge themselves at the end of the day. So instead of just letting speed be the answer, which no matter what, they all go 130 in some ways, acceleration and aerodynamics are going to be the biggest keys when it comes to racing in general. And also, especially in endurance cases, fuel. Fuel is a big vital case that's going to be throughout this race as well. So again, as the saying goes, every car hits about 130 miles per hour, and you're probably wondering, how do I do this? How do I set these cars to be 130 and make sure that not one's going to be more broken than the other? Well, this is how I basically do it. So we are at the special stage Route X, which is one of the places I kind of debated whether to do drafting and, you know, do the transmission tuning at the end of the day and stuff. And I kind of realized at the end of the day, this is kind of the best place to do it. This is really kind of the best place to do it. But as you can see here, where I'm walking around on the picture mode here, because yeah, you can walk around in picture mode. I forget you can do this. So there might have been a case where I didn't mention. But basically, right here at the 6,800 to 6,900 is where the car is going to hit 130. This is the mark. If it hits 130 too early, I need to tune it to where it hits right there. But yeah, that is really the goal when it comes to getting these cars to hit 130. I will note, not all cars are going to be like that. Because, for example, as you see that there was an ambulance car in this race. That ambulance car is going to be one of those exceptions. It does hit 130, but due to the fact of the one make limitation it has, because for some reason you can only do one make races on custom with that car. Which I hate that. That's the only thing that kind of stops some of these cars from to proceed at the end of the day. But the ambulance is not that broken to begin with, so it's fine. So it's one of the ones that I would say that's not heavily that broken, even though it has like 363 horsepower, I believe, or something like that. Just to hit 130. Oh, so it's an ambulance. That thing's gonna chuck fuel like no tomorrow. So I'm not really worried about ones like that, to be honest. But yeah, my goal is to try to make it as, with that drafting style and stuff, my goal is to make it as open as possible, because if you do the max tranny with no draft and no downhill, it's not as open as you might think. So doing this will allow more interesting setups and stuff. A lot of interesting contenders you wouldn't think you pit each other at the end of the day, but you so happen can. So yeah, welcome to the 130 mile per hour fun size club, I would say, fun size club, which this will be the Tryouts that replace 600 SP and 650 PP. So no more PP Tryouts, there's none of that anymore. Instead, it's going to be miles per hour Tryouts and kph Tryouts, because yeah, there's going to be 130, 155, 186, which is 300 kilometers per hour. You have 200 miles per hour. You have 217 representing 350 kilometers per hour. You have 230, 250, and maybe many more on that list. But those are the ones I can think of as of now. And we are going to start at the lowest form that I believe that is 130 miles per hour. So welcome to the new contenders, everybody. Welcome to the new contenders. Yeah, this is the whole roster right here. What you're seeing here, this is the whole new roster. I will know I'm going to decal them eventually, but this is what it is. So here's the 3 tracks that are going to be for the Tryouts here. Starting with the one that we are on, we have Grand Valley Highway Short Course Reverse layout for the first one. This is going to be basically the balance track. Then you got Goodwood, another, I would say, kind of speed track for the little cars like these, but at the end of the day, you can also say kind of balance track at the top. It's like a mid-speed kind of track. And then lastly, on Japan, Tsukuba Circuit for that corn prowess, as the saying goes. As you can see there. So yeah, that is basically all 3 courses I'm going to be doing the Tryouts on. Just to test each of the mights and downfalls of each car at the end of the day. And then see how fast they just go around the track at the end of the day, and racing hard tires, because yeah, I'm not even going to cut the butter with the sports hard tires, because I might as well do racing hard tires, since I'm doing racing hard tires with them already as I speak. And as a matter of fact, in custom race, the biggest problem is tire compound when it comes to this. So in order to force everyone to have the same tire compound, I made them wear racing hard tires at the end of the day. So as you can see there, they all have racing hard tires. Because otherwise, if you slap on sports or comforts, they just get whatever the car was offered. So example, like the Volkswagen Beetle there, he probably had comfort mediums. So that's why. Or comfort hards, even worse. But yeah, that's the reason why racing hard tires too on top of it. And then once I basically do the testings and stuff, I am basically going to just do a fun race at the end of the day. It could be a custom race, it could be a event race just to test the might of the car at the end of the day. It could be anything at the end of the day. I'm not gonna focus on one event every time for Tryouts at the end of the day. But I do want to showcase at least the car's strength at the end of the day and such, and see how fast it goes around. I don't know if I want to focus on one track to do all of them at the end of the day. I probably kind of should, but then again, there's so many random things that could happen with our race, so it's like yes and no. Because yeah, that was the other problems I had with the Tryouts too initially, because I was just doing the one event every time, which every time you do events, like for example the Le Mans one, for example, you would deal with the case of the rain. That rain could just F you over big time at the end of the day, depending on what car you are, because you would have a different situation no matter what in that sort of calculation. Although in 600 pp you had Tokyo Expressway's one, which is not bad. You just had to deal with the White Rabbit, for example. Which hoping when I discover more of these tune setups, maybe I can find something very interesting, something that's even faster than the normal that I did. That's what the other thing I'm hoping to discover in the process of doing this place. And then also, when I get done with these tryouts, I'll try to figure out like, if there's like a certain tune-up or something you should kind of have on hand just in case. Like example, like should you have racing hard tires for this event, or should you have sports hard tires for this event and such. Yeah, those are the things I will be trying to answer on top of it and such. But yeah, this is basically the new tryouts, people. Here to replace the 600 SP and the 650 PP. I was gonna finish the 600 PP, but I just don't have the energy to deal with that tryouts anymore, and it's just not fun. It just really wasn't that fun anymore. It just did not feel. It felt good. It felt right. Like something felt off. And I'm hoping like maybe this one's much better at the end of the day because of the whole Gran Turismo trying to doing balance updates and stuff. I'm not like super scared. I'm not, and I may have mentioned it several times, but I'm not technically really scared of it. I'm just saying in advance though, as a preparation, I might as well do miles per hour instead because they can't mess with that. The only way they're gonna mess with that is physics. That's the only way they're gonna mess with that. Yeah, we get ready to see a bunch of little cars go at 130 miles per hour, which as you can see, so far, they're not bad. I will say like out of three cars out of the group here are technically already done tuning stuff. Because yeah, I will say when it comes to tuning in this one, it's much easier too because I don't have to like figure out like what kind of things to attack at the end of it. I will say there are limits though. Like example, there is no rate reduction in this event route. But that's all I technically might need to explain at the end of the day. But yeah, so long PP tryouts, say hello to the new tryouts. That is the mile per hour tryouts. And gonna replace throughout the whole series, I'll say, nowadays. So I thank you all for watching and hope you like what I said here. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. You guys take care and ciao.